But overall, I feel great, mentally and physically.
You back at left guard.
Yes, I am.
How you liking that?
It was like kind of like a struggle at first, but because I've been playing tackle for what, 3 years and my first year at guard, so uh, not it's not as difficult than I thought it was, but it's like a tight space and everybody gets rolled up so much easy. So yeah,
Before in the box.
yeah,
Are you glad you did it, or
I'm happy I did. I would not change a thing at all. I'm so happy I'm playing guard, so I can show people how versatile I am.
what's
And it
been,
also helps out the team too.
what's been the big difference? I mean, that you can tell now that you've gotten really entrenched 6 games at that position. What's the big difference between that and tackle?
Actually moving 330 guys instead of 270, 260 guys. That's the only difference. And
You don't have to change up your technique.
yeah, not really. Just
Same footwork.
just go at them.
Just try and move bigger beef out of the way.
I like beef, yeah, bigger beef.
Luke was just named to the Remington finalist list. What is it that he's done this year that's made it possible for that? And what's it like seeing a young guy like that step into a role with Harry out so far?
It kind of shows how mature he is. Even though I give him, a lot of, like, I'm not about to say it, but y'all know what I mean. I give him a lot of like stuff about it, and he has matured a lot, and I couldn't be more proud of him.
What is it about his game that impresses you?
He asks questions. Yeah, sometimes he asks too many questions, but also at the same time, he knows what to do, and he's more confident than ever.
So why did you give him shit all the time?
Hmm?
Why did you give him shit all the time?
Just because he's a
didn't
young
say
guy. I ain't say that. I didn't say it. You did. I didn't say it. I hope everybody else didn't think I said that.
There, what was your first impression of the one?
When he first came here,
Yeah.
oh, he big. He's huge. Have you seen him?
Yeah.
God. Yeah. When I first saw him when he came on to like official visit, when was it? 2018, I believe, for like a spring ball. And I looked at him. I was like, who's this like guy that's working for us? He's like, no, that's a football player in high school. I'm like, no, he's not. Like, he's not no football player in high school. So I was like, okay. And when he came in, I was like, he a big boy. He's a humongous boy. And he has so much energy. He has passion for the game. Even though he had passion for basketball too, he was trying to like work out the kinks as well. So he has grown on me so much, and I love how he's so much like he's more talkative than ever too.
Was that size? You're like, oh, that's a big boy. Was that potential
Oh.
right away? You're like, yeah, this guy can.
Yes, he's big, tall, of course, and also he can move. Like I'm still not used to seeing like a 380, 360 person just move as fast as he does. It's kind of scary.
And then that's what caused you when you saw his development this summer to say, look, we got to get him in. I'm willing to move.
100%.
Thayer, we got to talk with Coach Stud yesterday about how he missed the Tulsa game because he had back surgery. Just from your vantage point, you've been a part of the program so long. What was it like to not have Stud on the sideline for a game?
To be honest, it wasn't like a big, huge deal. Because, yes, it was a huge deal because he was out. He was not on the sidelines. He was watching the game, of course. But we knew what to do. We know that if we lose, we know if we didn't do the right things that he taught us to do while he wasn't there, we'll let him down and he'll feel like that he didn't do his job. But we made sure, like, nah, like, he's not getting his back surgery for nothing. Like, he's doing it so he can make himself better, so he can come back pain-free to actually, like, come back to work.
Yeah, he was talking about how he was calling up coaches on the phone and almost throwing his phone, and that was agonizing to not be at the game.
Yeah,
Did you miss
that
his
sounds like
presence?
Stud.
Yeah, did
That's
you?
for sure sounds like Stud.
So you guys missed his presence on the sideline?
100%. Even though sometimes we'd be like, you got Coach Stud, but also at the same time, like we know, like he's like the heart and soul of this offensive line unit. Of course, I'm the captain of Block O for offensive line and of course the team, but without him, we couldn't be like one strong unit, as we always says.
How do you feel like Matt Jones has done stepping in for you when you've been down?
I'm sorry.
Matt Jones, how do you feel like he's played, when you've been down and getting into the game?
To be honest, it doesn't really surprise me how well he's been doing. Matt Jones has been phenomenal. I can't pronounce the word correctly, but y'all know what I mean. He's been very great, all around. He's been playing center and guard, right guard, left guard, just switching back and forth, and just shows his versatility too. It's just so amazing just how he knows that he's good, but he also sees like, all right, I need to work on something a little bit more. Like he knows he can do it. We all know he can do it. He just need to just keep staying on the course because I mark my words, he's gonna be a problem if like later on this year and possibly when he comes back for the next year. I don't know. That's his personal decision, but he's gonna be a problem because he's a strong guy. He's a strong guy.
You said he was really frustrated when he found out he wasn't going to be a starter, starting out this year. Did you have to did you have any conversations with him to kind of, to keep his head up in some way?
I had one conversation with him, and he knows that he has to work harder than ever just to play. And when I got injured during the Tulsa game, of course, that was his chance to actually step up. And Coach Stud saw that. He's like, oh, we cannot let him, we can't let this slip. Like, you see how Matt Jones played against Tulsa? You see how he played against Akron? Like, yes, I know it's, of course, like Akron and Tulsa, of course, but just the way he came out, just ran people off the ball, pass block, like everything. Like, you can't pass him up. You can't just not put him with the starting offensive line.
Has playing tackle helped you play guard at all? Is there something to the tackle position that you've used to play guard, or are they completely different?
Somewhat. Just being more physical as guard. So when I go back out to tackle, whenever, of course, it just shows me how I can just be a little bit more firm, a little bit, like have that little punch, a little of that like edge to me when I go back out. And as a tackle, moving to guard, the quickness of it, I can be a little bit more quicker than an average guard.
Getting your mental fortitude ready to go and to get yourself ready to play. Can you speak a little bit about what that process looks like and why that's important for you, as well as the emphasis that the program puts on mental stability on and off the field?
So you asked me if I can talk about my mental stuff.
Well, I'm asking you, why is that important to you?
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Because it's a whole part of the game. You can have the whole like physical attributes as like Chase Young, Taylor, Billy Price, White Davis, Josh Myers, like their physique. But if you don't have that mentality of, all right, I have nothing to worry about, I can just go play football. Like you gonna be like a top guy. You have like a legacy here, as those guys do right now. If you don't have that mentality, like if you worry about stuff off the field and you bring it on the field, it's gonna affect you on the field. You're gonna get somebody hurt. There's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into that.
What sort of emphasis does the coaching staff or just in general put on addressing those things for you guys to make sure that you guys are where you guys are?
We have like counselors that help us out. If we doing stuff off the field, mentally, we can go talk to counselors, or if the counselor's not in at that time, we go talk to Coach Day or any position coach on the team, because they will open doors up to actually come talk to us. It doesn't matter if you like a offensive line going to see a DB or a DB going to see a running backs coach. It really doesn't matter. Everybody knows how everybody is by now, so they just open their arms up to us so we can get our minds, so we can clear our minds for practice or just for the game.
Thayer,
generally an offensive line is 5 guys. You develop a chemistry. Assuming health, you play the whole year. This year, some of it due to injuries, but you guys have rotated even when guys are healthy. Why is this offensive line able to rotate and still not miss a beat in some of these games?
Because we got a couple veterans, like Dewan is an old guy, but he hasn't played really that much. Nick's a veteran, I'm a veteran, and Matt is a veteran as well, but he hasn't played a lot. So he knows basically the offense front and back of his hand like me and Nick does. And we got Paris and Luke also starting for their first time as sophomores, just like how I was. They starting to get like, all right, like this how it is. It's not high school no more. This actual like real men that we going against. So we gotta make their money, and we gotta make sure they help out us as a team.
Thayer, remember last year when you guys played Indiana, they ran that blitz a few times when they ran the 3 guys through the A gap. I remember Josh saying last year just how hard it was to see that come in because they were playing with so much depth and coming through that way. Moving from the outside now to the interior, just wondering what kind of adjustment it's been for you seeing some of that stuff in a tighter space when maybe you're at tackle, you can see a little bit more of the field.
Basically, they run around so much. It's like you gotta keep your head on the swivel, of course, just because they just run around and play hard, of course. But we've been pricing that blitz as well. But also at the same time, it doesn't matter what blitz they run. We'll be ready no matter what. They're a good team. We're a good team. They have a good defensive line. They have a great linebacker. We can't wait to play them. It's not me being humbled. It's the truth.
Do you know the story about Jack Tuttle, number 14, our quarterback, and Chris Olave?
Did they go to school together?
Yeah. We were just talking to Ronnie, and he said he didn't know about
Jack. I watched the game. They was talking about the game. I was like, ooh, I didn't know that. So,
I was just curious.
I didn't really know nothing about that. But it's gonna be a nice reunion for them. So I'm happy he gets to play, and that should show out his ability to play too. So just like anybody else, whoever's playing on their team, of course, the first time playing, I hope they show their coaches like I'm ready to play. But at the same time, like we know we got to be ready to play too.
You mentioned Luke asks too many questions. When did Dewan start asking a bunch of questions? When did Dewan start asking a bunch of questions?
His freshman part of sophomore year.
Yeah.
He really didn't know the offense that well, but when he got more comfortable around us and around the other players, he started asking more questions like, all right, like what I'm supposed to do here, what I'm supposed to do here, like why was this blitz happens and we run this play, like he knows what's going on. And I'm just happy that he's matured enough to actually do all that.
Thank you, Thayer.
All right, see y'all later.
What's the